But as we talking about TV, because ain't no TV like back in the day TV, you'll never get it. But when I tell y'all, is it bad that we're digging into TV the way that we do now?
What you mean?
Like
digging into what
a
used
lot
to
of
happen?
our older shows, are under fire.
Yes, it's
For
bad.
things that we accepted at that time that will never pass today. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the conversation of America's Next Top Model,
You
the
wanna be on
documentary
top?
that okay, you wanna be on top? I used to love it. But it was crazy. I just want to check this snippet out real quick about what Jay had to say, and then we'll talk about the whole show.
To that Shandy moment, first of all, she struggles to remember it, which I find hard to believe because how many times did she bring Shandy on her talk show to kind of force her to watch that scene? The other thing I would say is that, she's like,
it's a little difficult for me to talk about production because that's not my territory.
I was with Tyra. We were in the production office when we found out what was going on at the girl's house. Someone got off the phone with the director on set and they basically said, oh my God, Shandy's having sex with someone in the shower, one of the male models. The crew have no choice. They were literally forced to shoot her. And of course they were gonna figure out how ultimately they were gonna play this on the episode. I remember Tyra going to, I guess, speak with Ken or call Ken or something like that. So I wasn't privy to that conversation. Ken was the executive producer. Ken and Tyra made that call. Where I kind of personally take a lot of, I feel that just was a step too far, was filming her go to the doctor. That part was just terrible, especially because she threatened to quit the show. And if she quits the show, just so you know, they have to let her quit and not shoot her anymore. So they had to find a way to get her to stay. And then they kept shooting her. So the manipulation was just brutal. When it came to that Shandy moment.
The documentary was very interesting. I don't feel like watching Tyra in the confessionals kind of felt like watching Karen Huger a little bit talk to Andy.
Not Karen.
That's what I was thinking. And then, you've had people, I'm going to play her audio because I ain't trying to get flagged, but I want y'all to hear what Sherry Shepherd had to say about Tyra Banks and all of the drama that took place. Okay, let's see. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
People don't understand when we are in power, the battles we got to fight that you will never know about. Never. To keep a show on the air, there are things that we have to do that people will tell us, if you want to stay on the air, this is what you got to do. And we got to weigh the options. And sometimes we make bad decisions and we look up and we go, in hindsight, maybe I should not have done it. I've been up all night watching Netflix's documentary about Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model. When I tell you I was hooked, I understand why people are mad. I do understand. But I also say, you have to understand the time that this all happened was in 2003. Reality TV was a wild, wild west back then. Every show was trying to outdo each other to stay on the air. We had people that were eating rats on Survivor. We had people getting in a vat of spiders on Fear Factor. Simon Cowell was telling people they sucked to their faces. I cannot forget that Tyra that was a young Black woman trying to make it in the reality TV game. Like it just, now we have a plethora of TV shows. We're not naive to what goes on behind the scenes in reality shows today. So we're trying to compare a time today that we know a lot to a time when there was nothing like this show on the air. We're not taking into account the battles that this Black woman had to fight just to stay on the air for other people to come on the air. In the documentary, they said no network wanted to pick up the show except UPN. Everybody said no. As a woman who has pitched a bunch of shows and tried to get her own talk show, I understand that. Let me tell you something. I bet you if Heidi Klum had shopped the show around and every model looked like Gigi Hadid, it'd have been picked up immediately. Immediately. There's a lot of stuff that we did not know back then that would not have happened if this show aired now. People are blaming Tyra for allowing them to cut a black woman's hair wrong. I remember that when they cut the girls from New York and she was bald and they cut it. She had bald patches. We didn't have the sensitivities behind the scenes back then that we do now. Nowadays, if you have a black talent, they make sure to get black stylists. That's what we had to fight for to get. What people don't understand is the battles that this woman probably had to fight just to keep it inclusive.
All right, so that's a snippet. Yeah, go ahead.
And I don't mean this in no shady way, but what has Sherri Shepherd been a part of to where you think that she need to be crying like that about the decisions that she had to make about a TV show? I'm not saying she ain't been a part of nothing, but I can't think about nothing that's really. Can she relate?
Well, the only thing I thought about was the show she on now that is now about to be canceled. And it made me wonder if there is something that has happened on her own accord with this show that led to it likely going down that road. And that's why she's saying that. That's what I was wondering. Because I had the same thought as you. Like, what could it have been this show?
Well, y'all know her shit got canceled. So
yeah.
Right. That's why I'm thinking.
The thing that I thought about. The thing I thought about was Megan Thee Stallion. When she was talking about there are things they want us to talk about, or they think, things that we do, and it's like maybe we shouldn't have done that. Here's the thing. Sherri Shepherd is somebody where it's like, if you would have been, I'm gonna protect this black woman, I'm gonna stand up for her, I'm gonna say, listen, I may not agree with everything, but at the end of the day, that's what I want women to be able to be free to do whatever they wanted to do. Like, if she would have took a different approach, people would have wanted to hold on to her longer. She's about to lose her show. That's because what y'all tend to do is think these white people are going to do something for y'all. White people are in charge of the network. So white people tell the black people that have the shows, you need to do this, you need to do that. What you forget is that the shows are going to end anyway. It don't matter how long you do well, how long you do what them white people want you to do. The shows are going to end. And the only people that are going to come to your rescue whenever that opportunity is over is the people that look like you, that have felt like you were a representation for them. And when you sell them up the river, you can't go back to them in the same way as you could have before. Most black men in Hollywood truly understand this, which is why they move a certain way. Like, for instance, when we talk about Samuel L. Jackson or Denzel Washington, like, there are black men in Hollywood that understand that white people are not going to always give a fuck. They're not going to always want to give me awards. Their women are going to always want me. But I'm always going to be able to come back to black women. No matter how old I get, if I make a movie, they going to come see it. So I need to keep that in mind with the way I handle black people as I go throughout my career ups and downs. Tyra forgot that. And that is how we get here. Tyra thought that she could be like, fuck everybody for the sake of her show. She treated the dark-skinned girls the worst, and she treated black girls worse than the white girls. She now can come to us and act like she didn't have, I wasn't a part, that wasn't my side. You're a liar. You were in the edit bays. Which means when Shandy was raped on camera, you had the front row seat to tell Ken's little ass, nah, we not gonna do that. This the second season. The show did exceptionally well. I'm gonna protect her. I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to put her out there like that. But you did it anyway because you cared more about the ratings. Also, I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, Tyra is a sociopath. At some point in the course of making the show, handing people a dream with a piece of paper becomes a power thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get off on the fact that I get to dictate whether you make it or you don't, and you think you make it, but you really don't. There were a few people that were telling me I was reaching because I compared her to Diddy, but it was just like making a band. Ken Mock was an executive producer on the original Making a Band.
Oh, okay.
So it's not far-fetched. But if you actually look at it, there is a level of you're black, so I trust you. I want this dream. You're telling me I can get it as long as I'm loyal to you. I'm loyal to you, and then you still fuck me. And then on the back end, you don't even give me the integrity of self-respect. You bring me back on your reality, on your talk show to embarrass me further. What she did with Shandy, what she did with Tiffany. Like you milk it, and that was the same thing that Diddy did. after he fucked over them people initially, if he wanted to do a bad boy tour or bring everybody back together, he can go and call y'all. And because y'all are still struggling because of the way he left y'all, y'all will go and answer the call and go make him more money. And then he still won't give y'all what y'all are due. Just like in this specific Netflix documentary, they said the models didn't get paid. Just like the models didn't get paid back then.
I think when you mentioned Diddy, that's honestly the perfect example. But okay, let me make this clear. I only feel bad for two people watching the documentary. I feel bad for Shandy, and I feel bad for Danielle, the girl at the end who didn't get no work because she was on America's Next Top Model.
Who closed her space, and then bitch, you had that white girl open her space. What the fuck?
Yes,
Shandy was the one with the teeth.
No,
Shandy was one who
they said cheated, but actually she was drunk and got sexually assaulted.
Oh yeah, I just played it. Yeah,
not just her though. I feel bad for the other girl that got her teeth done because they didn't do actual good work and they fucked up her bite, not her jaw.
Yeah, the white girl.
Yeah, no. And then the other girl, Space. Oh, the one whose mom Tyra was doing psych evals or breakdowns of their history.
Her.
And remember the girl whose mama was killed by somebody murdering her with guns.
She wasn't killed. She was paralyzed.
She was paralyzed. Oh, I thought she was killed. But yeah, okay. So they did the photo shoot where the girl has to pretend like she was shot in the head, and everybody was like, "That was extremely fucked up."
And I think that's along the lines of her being Diddy like she had no compassion for these people, and she was really just trying to get a show going. But the part that had me like, I don't really give a fuck was when they had Gabby on the show. Was her name Gabby on the show? And she was like, oh, well, they said I had a wide ass. Like, when it came to some of the comments that they made about the model's looks, I'm saying like an asshole, but it did not really bother me that much. And when they did when they were doing some of the photo shoots, it didn't bother me. Like when they had one person be like, "Oh, you're an alcoholic, you're a drug addict, you have belief." That's what people used to do back then, and that's how I believe that's how the models were spoken to back then. So I'm not gonna say like I don't really. We're gonna go through 20 seasons of a show, and you see the topics that are. Everybody's chasing that, ooh, I want to be the person, or I can go as far as, they want me to go. So from that point of view, I do understand from a point like, yes, we were in a specific time. I think Tyra's fucked up. I'm also going to say I don't really feel that bad for Jamanuel because how the fuck we going to skip over the fact that you said you had a relationship with Tyra? Tyra still fucked up. Two things can be true. You said you had a relationship with Tyra that was more of a personal relationship, but when you put in your notice, you send it via email. And you think that you're going to have a face-to-face conversation with her, but you can't even call her on the phone and quit or go out to dinner with your homegirl to tell her before you involve the network. It's a possibility that he might have just CC'd whoever else he needed to CC to go ahead and quit. And I would have been like, yeah, you got me fucked up too because you was just at my house last night. We just went to go eat. So I understand Tyra being upset at Jamanuel about that. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I think that Tyra was.
I thought she had been acting funny.
No, she was acting funny after the fact, is what he said. And I can understand why she acting funny because if y'all said let's talk to each other first, she probably meant have a real conversation with me before you just send me an email. And then I also
he didn't send her email. He texted her. He didn't send it to everybody else first. Email. I thought he said he texted her. And
he said he sent an email to Tyra. That's what he said. I just watched it today. He said he sent an email to Tyra. But what I'm saying is if this was a formal notice for him to just quit, he probably copied more than Tyra on the email.
But that's what I was thinking. I don't think he did that.
Regardless, if that's your friend, don't send me no fucking email.
The only reason I am not as on that is because I feel like the energy had already been created for you to feel in fear of telling her something she don't want to hear.
Oh, you're right.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for how any of them got fired, to be honest. I don't feel bad for any of them because I feel like they played a part and doing what they did to them girls. But that's
Mhm.
also a part of the system of it, that we pull you in and push you past what you think is cool. So by
Yeah.
the time you ready to say something, you've already done so much that it don't.
Mhm.
I could turn back to you and be like, it don't even fucking matter what I did. You did this, 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 and this. We all fucked up. And then that's how you stay for 10 more years. So I
And
don't feel bad for J
And I
Man.
did hate how Tyra goes. A sociopath, I think, is accurate with Tyra. No compassion at all for anything
No.
that happened on this show. No compassion while the show was going. I think she got power hungry. The bigger the show got, she was willing to do anything to take it there. She didn't have the girl's best interest at heart. The only one who I could almost see, but I know that they held back some of the edits, was Tiffany. Tiffany really did seem to have a defeatist ass attitude.
Oh, yeah.
And looking back at it, that shit would have pissed me off too. But at the end of the day, however many seasons had gone by, Tyra really didn't put no black women in the position to be successful off the backs of her show.
Yes.
The women who she did mention at the end of the documentary, she really made it seem like, yeah, them bitches wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. That's basically what she said. But the women who she mentioned at the end of the documentary were women who became successful off the backs of social media. So all of the Winnie Harlow and
for Eva,
before she went on there. Winnie Harlow was somebody that people knew before she went on that show. I didn't even know that, but apparently she was on I forgot what Mecca said, that she was on another social media platform, so she knew about her before she went on.
I think she was on the season where they brought people from social media on. I think she was on one of them later seasons where they was really trying. Okay, so yeah,
because I had
I
stopped.
think it was like an influencer season or something like that, and I think that's how she ended up coming on the show. But
they asked Winnie to compete, and Winnie was gorgeous, but also Winnie has also been known to be. But this is what I'll say about like the reason why you may not have seen how fucked up it was is because by the time you are a little bit younger than us.
Yeah.
So by the time you snap into it and realize what's going on, the system has already been created. What I specifically remember was that Kenya situation, because what was a flat stomach before now became, so that's not a flat stomach. So now
I remember that.
Okay, but like for me, I remember like in the 90s, it was just a tad bit different. And when that happened, it just became like, so we're not we're actually bigger than we thought we were. Like
that happened to me too. It made me realize that, oh wow, I remember some of my takeaways from the show. I remember, because I'm tall, some people can't tell, but I'm tall. When I was younger, so this show came out in 2003. I was in 4th grade. People used to tell me I should model all the time. And I would be like, oh no, I can't model because I'd be a plus size model. I was a kid. I was skinny. That's some of the takeaways that I got from the show. But what I'm saying is, in reality, as a society, we've gone the complete opposite direction to where businesses and people want to be inclusive in ways that are not always authentic. So it's like, it's a balance. So we can now look at the shit we saw in 2003 through a much harsher lens. We could talk about it with all these mental health terms and all these things that happen. But the reality of it is that's the way it was. Like even with the girl Kenya who had the photo shoot with the man, and the man was
kept touching on her and shit.
Kept touching on her and stuff like that. She did the right thing. She did the right thing by speaking up, because even if they didn't do anything to protect her, she let that man know that now everybody's aware of what you're doing. However, like Tyra said today, I still don't think that they would have ended the whole shoot or even kicked him off the shoot. I think that is a part of the entertainment industry that exists today.
Yes.
Just the body shaming back then.
Harassment.
Yeah, the body shaming back then is a part of the entertainment industry that exists today as well. But like coming to normal folks like us,
yes, we didn't
everybody
do that in the same way before Tyra in the show. We didn't put ourselves in the framework of could we be a model.
So I think when Tyra started the show, I do agree with them wanting to show the authentic nature of what it took, which was a lot of abuse that models endured. And then as the show got on, she got on this power trip, and then it turned into very strategic abuse and
Yeah.
manipulation and everything else, right?
Which
So
is
yeah,
terrible
I get it.
about it long term, like 24 seasons of you being a weirdo bitch. And then the thing that adds it to me is like what we've seen since then. So like in 2018, she did an MLM. You know, she did a multi-level marketing scheme that did not work out with makeup and having women fly out to other countries. And you could tell that there's a level of, I need this praise from other women, but I also need for other women to put their dreams on me so that I could feel this push to make their dreams come true, even though I know I'm not going to be able to really pull through, but I can feed off their energy.
Mhm.
And that's the thing that pissed me off. Before, I didn't feel that way. I thought Tyra is just showing us what was going on back then. This is how they were back then. Like Janice Dickinson is a bitch, and Tyra would, but
They didn't talk about her at all.
no, they didn't. But low key,
No,
they gonna
because
talk about her in
allegedly,
the one on Hulu.
yes, because they're talking about her in another documentary. And I think it's a different documentary that Janice Dickinson has agreed to be a part of. But one of the things I thought was also funny was my Twitter handle for the longest was Janice Dickinson because her name is so close to my name.
Right.
And I remember her being an asshole, and I used to tweet the most funny things. So that was just the culture of the time. Like, I get
hoes were mean. Hoes were mean.
You're
But-
not gonna go 20 seasons seeing the girls on
I
TV
hated Janice.
get like it's no different. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but what this makes me think of is we're not gonna go 24 seasons seeing them tear apart women's bodies on the show for the sake of being a model. It's very similar to women calling up Kevin Samuels on the phone every night, trying to get Kevin Samuels to tell them if they're good enough for a man or not.
Right.
They went on the show for validation. Some of the women went on the show for validation. They didn't win. It is what it is. Like, I don't.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about that. Kevin Samuels was talking to grown ass women. The girls on America's Next Top Model were like 3 years
Fresh out of high school.
That's
and
true.
then, and especially at the beginning, and not even just at the beginning, like even as a content creator, there's a level of how much should I charge for this? Should I be charging for this? Or should I not be charging for that? Should I take this opportunity? I'm not getting paid. Should I take this opportunity? Should I not take? So there's a level of taking advantage of what people don't know because they're young or because they don't have the understanding. And so when I think about what they were doing, like, yes, of course, we were in a different time, but even in a different time, they were doing too much.
Now, for me, I would say, like, when outsiders have an opinion on our older shows and critique it, I don't really be caring, because we enjoy it all the same. But I do think there should be a level of respect for the people that actually were a part of those shows and they felt the way about it. Because when I see people defend Tyra, it's like, I'm not going to say it's whack, but it's whack a little bit because it's like, but y'all were the same ones that watched Diddy do what he do and y'all will drag him for it. But when people speaking out about their experience with Tyra, y'all over here like, oh, nah.
Because there's no sex involved.
Right.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
no, I'm talking about making the band.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what when I said about Tyra being like Diddy, they like, oh, it's a stretch because there's not a sex aspect involved.
Oh, yes.
Power.
But there's still abuse of power.
Yeah. And it's like, no, they was slick on the same shit. And honestly, I will give them this though. They, to me, in a sense, were like a sacrificial lamb just a little bit because they were the faces of their shows. Who was really running stuff as well were the people behind the scenes. And here we are. We don't dig into the producers enough. Even when we watched the documentary about what was happening on Nickelodeon and stuff, right? We didn't really dig into we got into that man's Dan show, whatever his name was. Snyder that was on the show. We got into his ass, but did we really dig into the producers? Really, did we go back into if we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna really get into it and we're gonna drag people, we're gonna say, go pull them producers from up where they at.
Did y'all see that Kenya Barrett
them out too?
Producer? I didn't even
know
know
that.
that.
I did not know that.
Oh, I knew that for a long time.
They said there was a lot of info left out.
They didn't talk about him.
No, they did. They never talk about him. He's never been discussed when we talk about the producers. I've seen Ken Mock before.
But they're saying that they probably didn't discuss him because of his ties with Netflix. That's what people are assuming. That's a rumor.
But hold on, Les needed more heat. I don't think so. Didn't Les Moonves get disgraced from a sexual assault situation?
I had no idea.
Yeah, let's move
But
it.
yeah, they need to talk about the producers a lot more. I honestly think that although I disagree with the way that Tyra moved, Tyra Banks is a small part of a much larger system of abuse. And that's all I'm trying to say is what the women endured was abuse. At some point, Tyra endured abuse, but she was in the game so long that she was just kind of moving within it.
She
It's
also
still
made that show to fight against the thing, those very things, and then still went along with it to the
yes,
whole.
and then turn and folded.
Yep.
Yes.
I want y'all to hear what this lady had to say real quick.
Oh, Adrian bitch
Let me
ass.
see. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't like.
Okay, I have mad respect for Tyra Banks. She is not sorry. She is not apologizing to you. That bitch is not effing sorry. She will not bend the knee. And I respect that. Well, you want her to lie? Lie and say how bad she feels? Everyone's coming to me and they're like, none of the judges were sorry. Why should they be? They're all loaded. Why should they give a flying, if they didn't give a at the time, they certainly ain't going to give it now. But mad respect for Tyra, because that's hard to push back on that many people trying to struggle session you. And she's just like, you and do what I want. And I got to respect that. So I tip my hat, my lady. Keep on being yourself, which is someone who doesn't give a flying shit.
Now, here's the thing for me. Now, I do like that mentality though. When most people be like, fuck you, I ain't finna change my mind because that's what you want me to do. But the thing is, if you're saying F you to us voices out here, F us, girl. But my thing is, when you got the people that actually experience the pain that you inflicted upon them coming to you or speaking out, saying that's who you owe something to. So when you
Yeah.
like, I don't give a damn, I don't care, girl, not that's where the problem is, right? Because you don't owe us anything. But I do think something should be owed to those ladies, even if it is a conversation or my apologies or this is what was going on at the time. I thought I was doing what was best. Like that's definitely owed to them, in my opinion. But
I'm
Check your
surprised she
DM,
had a
Jamie.
conversation with Danielle after the fact and full out admitted to her that she knew she wasn't gonna be successful and
She didn't
had a
help her.
difficult time. Yeah. She admitted that. One
Yeah.
of the other things I wanted to call out while we on the topic of this, they just came out. Well, it's been a minute, but I say within the last 6 months they came out with the documentary for The Biggest Loser. You remember that show was on at the same time?
Yeah. They was eating Jillian Michaels' bitch ass up.
Yes. And literally Jillian Michaels was the Tyra Banks of that show.
Yes.
So I think seeing that documentary and then turning around and watching this one, I just leaned more into, well, unfortunately, that was the entertainment industry and that was the culture of that time. But I do still think Tyra Banks is fucked up. And I do agree with y'all. I think that the people on the show, if they felt like they deserved an apology, yeah, she should give it to them because they definitely came on the show specifically for her because she was a black model who made it, and it seemed like she had positive intent, and she didn't. And she ultimately sold them out for her own success.
Yeah.
It was like they were really cast members for her own damn show. And let me tell y'all what had me on the floor because I forgot about this. When Tyra was stepping with the Sigmas, I don't know if y'all remember that, and she was just flopping around all over the place, hilarious. And the fact that when they were showing all the different types of America's Next Top Models that she went on to do, I thought about that Sigma post and I said, man, Tyra was literally just doing shit. She just be doing shit. When it came to whatever, and that's the other thing too. It's like I feel like she just went on to do whatever the hell she wanted. Oh, we're gonna have am I the next top model British or Britain version? Then we're gonna do the males, and then we're gonna go to college. Say what?
I said it got real trash after that. Like I stopped watching when Nigel and Miss J and J Manuel when they left. I stopped watching.
I think I might have watched when the British model was on. I can't remember. I think that was when Janice left though, and they
I feel like the last season I saw was when the plus size model won, the white girl.
That might have been mine too. But I just know, like, looking back on it, there were moments where I felt betrayed by Tyra by watching the way she responded to certain things on the show. I felt the same way as everybody else that Tiffany had. Twiggy, thank you. that Tiffany had given up. But when Tiffany explains, like, I now recognize the humiliation that has to go along with this, and now I don't want to give you that. And Tyra getting mad
Yeah.
because you weren't getting the emotional response you wanted her to grovel.
Yes. Did
Yeah.
y'all see Eva's audition that's been floating around?
I haven't seen the audition.
Okay.
I saw Eva changing her mind on her commentary on Tyra. That was
Oh, no, I didn't
Oh
see
yeah, I saw a
that.
sit down interview where she was acting. She said that she don't even remember some
No.
stuff, or she didn't know
I
some stuff.
know a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Mhm.
She didn't know what?
She didn't know about a lot of the stuff that happened on the show. Like, she didn't know about the Shandy situation. You know,
Was she on the same season? Is
no,
she?
no.
Oh, I was
It
gonna
was
say.
like
Yes.
season 4.
Yeah, I thought it was later on. I was gonna say like 5 or 6.
Adrian, I wanted to, because I sent you that clip about Adrian.
Oh, you see me? Okay.
When Adrian said what she said, I remember on my channel, I talked about it, and people was like, oh, she was just being sarcastic. And I'm like, yeah, no. You either a terrible fucking person or you're being sarcastic, but it's either or. I'm not gonna run straight to one or the other. And then somebody reposted some shit that she said, and I'm like, yeah, nah, she's a terrible human being. That's the reason why she feels like, oh, the fact that Tyra didn't, grovel. It's not that anybody wants a fake apology. They want acknowledgement that's truthful. Tyra is not honest. If you notice, she is
wasn't.
disconnected. Like as a
Everything was calculated.
yes,
Even
performance.
oh no, I think I need to talk to Mr. My most difficult moment.
Like what?
My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, when they were trying to basically coach her into saying her most difficult moment was the one with Tiffany,
Yeah.
that was inauthentic too. Yeah, I guess I was gonna say that everything was just so weird. It was worse than Karen Huger.
Space.
Yeah.
But the reason why I was saying that I brought up Eva was because, to Bonnie's point, you said that Tyra wanted the girls to grovel. And looking at Eva's like audition, whenever she first walked into the judges, she had a moment with Tyra where Tyra essentially like made her cry. She just jumped into like, who has told you that you never would make it? Who told you you weren't worth it or you wouldn't be successful? And Eva takes off her glasses and starts crying. And as soon as she started crying, she was like, okay, you're gonna go far. And in that moment, she was like, cool, I can manipulate you. Got it. We gonna keep her on the show.
Child. I think that's hold on. Let me play this real quick.
Kids are so fucking stupid. Colonization, it's called conquering. Oh, stolen land, it's called one. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And these same people, give up your house and all your belongings and get the fuck out because this isn't your home, colonizer, all of you. And I'm sorry, even the Black community, this ain't your home. Get the fuck out. We got all these kids, they're so fucking stupid. Colonization.
This is the video that Bondi had sent over. Is that Adriana?
Yes.
Who is that? Oh,
that's Adrian. The same one that was sitting up there talking about.
Oh, stolen land. It's
my
called
bad.
one.
Let me get off this.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
You got to understand the mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody that thinks that way about slavery or this country being stolen, this is the way you're responding to what the young people are saying. And then when we get to Tyra, you're like, I respect the fact that she just doesn't give a damn. When that's not true. Tyra pretended like she cared, but it didn't work. And everybody was like, nah, bitch, we could tell you don't really give a fuck. But if Tyra really didn't give a fuck, she would have got up there and been like, you know what? I don't remember what happened to Shandy. That was a long ass time ago. I don't even remember that shit. Remind me. Oh yeah, that was fucked up.
Baby, I think Tyra, I don't know, maybe she thought she was bigger than the program. Maybe she had more control than what she was leading on, because the fact that she was ignoring the higher ups when they were calling her and emailing her and she wouldn't even respond to them. I said, damn.
She was in the editing bay. When she said I was in the editing bay, I said, oh no, bitch, you know exactly what came out. And then when the shit happened with Shandy, they had to go back and re-edit because Janet Jackson's titty had came out. So the laws and all of that, the shit changed for TV and what you could show. So she
was gonna do her worse than that.
Yes, they were.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why. And then she brought her back on her TV show. And child, I played a clip of when she was going back and forth with Corinne Steffens, and I didn't like that shit neither. I remember watching her talk to Corinne Steffens and trying to slut shame Corinne like you told on these men. And I remember looking at Tyra like, girl, fuck them niggas. They don't care about you, bitch. You another bitch the fuck too. You think you better than Corinne Steffens because you a model and she was a video girl? All them niggas want to do is fuck you too. You ain't
Right.
better.
Mm.
I remember feeling that way. I remember. So yeah, I stopped fucking with Tyra a long time ago. But you forget when people go away and move to other countries.
And I was feeling that way when Tyra Banks got on this TV show with that fucking swimming suit talking about kiss my fat ass and was up there trying to fake cry. Girl, you don't give a fuck after you torture them girls for seasons.
No, for
And
real.
seasons. But that's what I mean. That she was taking advantage and pandering to the fact that society was changing to being sensitive as fuck. That society was changing to being inclusive. And that's what she did when she closed Danny's gap and then opened the white girl. She opened the white girl's gap because she knew
That
that
time was
society, yes. And that's why I'm just like, yes, she
Yeah.
can be a fucked up person, even though the times were different. I can agree with that 100%.
And another thing, I think she relied on the fact that when she first came into the business, we were comparing her to Naomi Campbell. Naomi
Mhm.
Campbell is your trafficking fuck ass bitch. So she's far worse, right? Because she's not even playing the game with you. Whereas Tyra is pretending that she gives a fuck, pretending that she cares. I don't want to be the mean girl. I care. I'm Tyra. I want you to love your body and love
was
who
so
you
fat.
are. And when
Mhm.
she did that, I think it made more women feel safe with her. And that's why I get so mad when black people do the same shit that white people do, because we don't care about white people. We don't feel safe with them. We feel safe with your black ass. And
Right.
you use that to take advantage of us. It's the same thing with Tyler Perry, with Tyra, with Naomi. But Tyra absolutely capitalized off that fake good girl shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that.
Yeah. Mm. Some people are thinking that she about to do another show. She is.
She said,
Mhm.
No, that's not a
she's
thought. That's what it.
yeah, she said, wait for year 25. Like, girl,
Mhm.
fuck you. Fuck you.
Literally. I
Child.
don't want to watch. I don't want to see her on the TV screen. You remember I just talked about her, I think 2 months ago on the podcast, and I was telling y'all how she missing some marbles because of the way her makeup was looking.
And
Mhm.
that
She's
ice cream
crazy as
shit,
fuck.
when she did that video,
With the
New
ice
Year,
cream, putting it back. And
Yes.
I was like, girl, what the
Yes.
hell?
I have special taste buds. I can taste everything. As soon as it hits my tongue, I can feel everything all at once. And I
Yeah.
just had this idea. And that's when that comes to like throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it sticks. And now
Mhm.
she's like, I want my legacy to be ice cream. Girl, you don't decide what your legacy is. We do. I'm sorry. But how everybody else remembers you is your legacy, not what you decided.